Housing is one of the more critical issues facing San Francisco, actually facing all large cities. But one of the more hidden populations are those who are what I like to call gay and gray, members of the LGBT community who are aging among us. Well, in San Francisco, there is not a solution, but part of a solution. It's called Openhouse. And here to talk to us today is its development officer, Gayle Roberts. Welcome, Gayle.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, David.
Well, I've been wanting to have you on the show for a long time, so thank you so much for coming on. So Openhouse, 55 Laguna in San Francisco, how close are we to actually opening the doors on Openhouse?
Well, Openhouse was, as you know, founded 16 years ago by a couple of visionaries who really understood that housing is going to be a critical issue for our community before many other people. And we have been working toward this dream of creating a community space in a housing complex for LGBT seniors ever since. And our first building is going to be opening up, I'm very happy to say, in the fall of this year. It's going to be welcoming and inclusive for LGBT seniors. It is going to be open to all seniors 55 and older, but we've worked really hard to make sure that programs and services and our outreach and recruitment efforts encourage our community to apply.
Right, and I'm glad you brought that up. Let's get that, to use a cliched phrase, out of the closet right now. A few months ago, there was kind of a kerfluffle about, well, I thought it was gay people only.
Yes.
Explain to people, gay and non-gay, why that's not possible and actually why it's not legal.
Yes. Well, back when Openhouse started, there was a vision of maybe it would be market rate housing. And we all know what the price of market rate housing is
certainly do.
In the Bay Area is and the challenges around developing that, and it really wouldn't serve the needs of our community. So, 4 or 5 years ago, we partnered with Mersey Housing, which is an amazing nonprofit, has a lot of experience in nonprofit development. We partnered with the City Department of Housing, and the three organizations together came up with this idea for affordable housing for seniors that is welcoming and inclusive of the LGBT community. Right. So there was originally a dream that would be just for gay folks, but when it became public funded, you can't discriminate against LGBT people, just as you can't discriminate against straight folks.
Right.
So it is an inclusive and welcoming. We anticipate that a large percentage will be LGBT. So
in the year 2016, with quote-unquote marriage equality, with so many issues, the LGBT community now, I don't want to say mainstream, but out there, is Open House a harbinger of the future, or is it like the last gasp of this sort of development?
I certainly don't think it's the last gasp. In fact, in my mind, let me take a step back. I've done a lot of work with youth development. When we first met many years ago, one of my jobs was working at Lyric, working with young people in the Castro. And, we all tell young people that it gets better. But the hidden truth is that seniors,
it doesn't get better. It gets harder.
It gets harder, exactly. Gay seniors are having to go back into the closet to access housing and health care and services.
Even in San Francisco.
Even in San Francisco. Transgender elders are sometimes having to detransition because the situation is just really untenable.
Yeah.
And the homophobia in some of the institutional systems that are out there for seniors. And so just as there's so much work to be done still around youth issues, with communities of color, immigrants, low-income populations, rural and urban areas, seniors is another area that as a community that we really need to address and come together.
Yeah, and I have to admit, on a very personal level, I feel a real connection to that. People have asked my husband and I, why did you guys never have children? You never adopted, you never had children. I'm like, well, we adopt old people, because I was raised by my grandmother and a bunch of aunts, and I know what it's like to see old people lose a sense of independence and a sense of community.
Yes.
And when you're LGBT and get older, it's just all the more harder. Do you think that Open House is going to serve as a model for other cities, or has it already?
I think so. San Diego, Sacramento, LA, they're all starting buildings that are focusing on providing affordable housing for the LGBT community, for seniors. And to kind of pick up on what you just said, aging is tough for everyone. But LGBT seniors, particularly those of the Stonewall generation, face some additional challenges. Lack of family support is one. Many of them don't have children or birth families that are supportive of them. Many of them are survivors of the HIV and AIDS pandemic and are struggling with health issues. Many have financial challenges because really never thought that retirement was something that was ever going to be possible for them, so they didn't plan for it.
Right.
Or didn't have the economic means because of employment discrimination during their wage earning years. So aging is tough for everybody, but gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender seniors have it even harder.
Right. Tell me a little bit, we've got about 2 minutes left, what you will see when you go into 55 Laguna. And actually, who will also be there to help?
Yeah, well, 55 Laguna, it's actually an entire complex. The first phase will be 40 units, and it's going to be studios and mostly one-bedroom units. And the prices are going to be arranged from about $800 to $1,200, and you can have one or more people depending on the size of the unit in it. And there's going to be a lottery that people can apply for, and we encourage everybody in the community who's 55 and older and under 50% of the average median income in San Francisco to apply. Go to our website, which I think is going to be on the screen. The lottery will be announced at the end of this month, beginning of June, and there'll be an application process. In this building also, there's going to be the new Bob Ross LGBT Senior Center.
Named after the publisher,
the
original
BAR.
publisher of the BAR, right?
Right. And that will be Openhouse's offices. And think of it as hubs and spokes. While there's only going to be 40 units in this first building and 79 in the second building in 4 years from now, Open House, through its hub and spokes model and its partnerships, serves 2,000 to 3,000 individuals next year. Right. And our goal is to serve, even more of that in the coming years. And so with the support of the community, we're going to make that happen.
In our last 30 seconds, tell me what you've learned about yourself by working on Open House.
Oh, that's a great question. Well, yesterday was my 54th birthday. And as a transgender individual, I can see myself in the Open House community. And I worry about my own future. And so what I know is that through Open House, when we come together to support each other in need, we are stronger as a community. And then when we individually need help, Open House and other organizations are going to be there for us.
Thanks so much, Gayle. I'm glad you're there for us and for Open House.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Always a pleasure speaking with Gayle and learning about the incredible work of Open House. And since I'll be 55 next year, I guess I'm going to start getting those mailers. I didn't know senior citizens started at 55. So I guess I'm a member of the gay AARP.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on 10%.